Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well and that you are on your way to a happy and productive and restful, more restful than productive. Let's go for restful weekend. I am here to talk about your last week's discussion board posts as well as to look ahead to what's coming up. First off, let me congratulate you. The points that you are making and the ideas you are exploring in the discussion board so far are high level undergraduate stuff. I'm seriously impressed. They suggest that even if you're not reading widely, I can tell that a few of you are. It's harder to tell with others of you, and that's okay, that I can't always tell. It certainly says that you're reading deeply. And I thought that a couple of the conversations you had on the board, particularly about like Tillman and his appeal or lack thereof, were really excellent. They made a lot of sense, and I thought they were super helpful. So well done, seriously. Most of all, your conversations so far suggest that you are discovering just how complicated a term that seems simple, white supremacy, really was. Black people were clearly not benefiting from it, but white people, whether and how they benefited from it is a really interesting and open question. So were they benefiting from it? Who was benefiting from it? How much? And who was not? And etc. and etc. and etc. I understand that and etc. is redundant because et means and. There you go. Anyway, I'm proud of you. Seriously, I just wanted to show you off this past week. I will say that the same lesson about how white supremacy is not simple, is not easy, is not open and shut will apply as you get into the readings for Monday and Wednesday. Even at moments of seeming total white power and black degradation, like lynching, were complicated. I will ask you to look into who's wielding power, in what ways, and under what conditions. Meanwhile, the readings for Monday and Wednesday allow you to look into white supremacy and Jim Crow from the perspective of African Americans, particularly African Americans who were not about to take that stuff lying down. So Charlotte Hawkins Brown with her The Negro and the Social Graces, and W.E.B. Du Bois, they're both giving you different examples of how the African American community could respond to white supremacy in a way that was other than simply being completely cowed by it. Let me apologize really quickly. I know I do this on the Blackboard site as well. The lynching site is a problem. What you're essentially going to have to do, and this stinks, is click on the map or let things hover over on the map on interesting little dots on the map, and then that will pull up and that will show a URL, a web address, and then you're going to have to copy that web address down and enter that into your computer so that you can access the articles. Once you've done it, it is totally worth it because it gives you the actual newspaper articles, all the articles that this man's class and himself could find about the actual lynchings. So crazy interesting and helpful. However, I apologize for the difficulty. Okay. Looking ahead, I have not received many historiographies, but I await them. I am looking forward to reading them, and I will try to get them back to you as soon as I can. I'm really hoping by Wednesday. You'll notice that the reading for Monday and Wednesday has no secondary sources in it, and the reading, really, the primary sources, is really only a few pages, maybe 10, let's say 10. And that includes reading the lynching articles. That is meant to give you a chance to get moving on your projects. For your historiographies, you will have paid attention to secondary sources, but now is your time to dig into those primary source databases. For those of you writing research papers, get to know as many sources as you possibly can. Take notes on them, figure out what they're doing, figure out how they help you answer questions, or just figure out what they keep telling you. they're responding to each other, these sources are. So what are they telling you about what's happening in North Carolina at this time, how people are interacting with each other, etc., etc. Those of you who are doing lesson plans and unit projects, this is kind of the same thing. Read a lot, dig deep in, get to know these sources. But while you're getting to know the sources, think about how they will help your students. Think about what your students are capable of getting out of them. Think about whether your students are capable of digesting that document. Figure out, again, what they're telling you about North Carolina and the time and the place. But also think, okay, well, I need to adjust this source. Well, I need to fix it. Well, I need to cut it down significantly to make it something my students can understand, but still figuring out what's important. So anyway, thank you for your hard work. I really appreciate it. I could not have been prouder of you with the discussion board posts. They were very impressive. So keep it up. I will be sending out comments, individual comments on the discussion board, contributions later tonight at some point. It's a little hard to tell, but I'll get them up, and I will look forward to seeing what you have to say Monday through Wednesday. Thank you so much.